Hi guys, it's Nancy and I have the May Spellbinders Glimmer of the Month kit. And this is a very interesting kit, you guys. So I wanted to show you what I found out about it. So these are the only hot foil plates on there. So there's some sentiments. You give me butterflies, celebrate you today, especially for you, and it's a new day. And then there are these 6 sprays or wing sprays, okay, rays. So I just wanted to show you those. I very quickly just foiled them just so I can see what they look like. Not the greatest of foiling because I untaped my plates, so I'll be getting back to taping them together, but you get the idea. So I'm going to move this aside. I'm not going to show you the basics of the glimmer because you can watch other videos on how to do that. I'm just going to put that aside. The interesting part about this is you're going to get 2 butterflies. You're going to get a large butterfly and a profile view butterfly. So the dies that you're going to get with this, you have different configurations. So this is where the fun comes in. Okay, so here is the large butterfly. And for those of you that are into the embroidery flossing on cards, that's primarily what this is designed for. And so you can die cut it, you can foil it, or you can embroider it. So there are 3 things you can do. So the dies that come with this are the outline die for the You Give Me Butterfly sentiment. There is no dies for these. You can cut those out very easily. And then on this butterfly, you can see all the little fine detail for the embroidery floss. Okay, there also are some drop-in pieces, and I'll show you what these do. These cut out the other pieces of the butterfly. So you get 2 pieces here. So you get the straight body and the antennae for this guy, and I've already die cut those out. And then you're going to get several drop-ins, and I'll show you what I mean by drop-ins. You know, these all picked up. Here is the profile butterfly. Okay. And so what you can do is foil these sprays or lines or rays or whatever you want to call them. And then these dies that just have the dots on the top, you can use those to line up, and there's a little dot in the middle there, so you can see the dot at the top of the line and the dot at the bottom there will cut out, which you figure out which one it is. There we go. Those will die cut out. And you have 2 for the large wings, 2 for the smaller wings, and 2 for the profile wings. So you have 6 different sizes here. And what you don't want to do is you don't want to foil these. They're not designed for foiling. They are designed for die cutting. Now, certainly you do not have to do the foiling. That's what's nice about this, is you can just do straight die cutting. You can do it with die cutting and embroidery. You can do it with just your glimmer. You choose the way you want to use this. Okay, and then what these drop-ins will do is they will cut out, if you don't want to do any kind of foiling, you can use these as a drop-in to cut out the kind of the speckled pieces to the butterfly wing. So this one goes in here. And again, there you can see where they go because you have 2 that are exactly the same. Those go on the large butterfly, and then you have 2 that are by themselves. They go on the smaller butterfly, or the profile view butterfly. So if you didn't want to do flossing or you didn't want to do embroidery, you can simply just die cut and put this on here. Okay. Now, once you figured out where all of the hot foiling and the die goes, again, we've already hot foiled everything, so that's all that's going to get hot foiled. The rest of this is die cutting. So let me slide this out of the way here. trying not to lose all the pieces. And we're going to bring in our die cutting system. I'm going to use some tape on here. So this is pretty neat because I've seen die cutting. I've seen glimmer foil with die cutting. I have yet to see embroidery with die cutting and foiling. So this is kind of cool that you can choose what you want to do with this set. So it's very versatile. I have not tried any of the flossing, embroidery, any of that yet. So this will be interesting. So you can see through these dies here, and I can line up exactly where I foiled and make sure I'm cutting it in the right place. All I'm doing is looking through the bubbles, and I can see the foil pop through the bubbles. And again, I know someone's going to say, well, why can't you die cut and foil at the same time? Because the dies and the foils are different heights. So if you try to do that, it won't. Either it'll cut your foiling through, which will rip the paper, or it will foil and not die cut. So you just have to be very careful with that. I do not recommend doing them at the same time. You could also destroy your cutting plates and your machines and things like that. So just you save the die cutting for die cutting and save the foiling for foiling. I cannot see the right side of this side. I wonder if I have them backwards with another one. We'll come back to that one. Now this one cut off the page, but that's my fault. And I do recommend taping your plates together. I normally do. I just untape them to clean them up. And I thought, well, I could do this without the tape. Nope. Okay, so maybe those two are mixed up then. And I think I got these two mixed up. Oh, yeah. So there is a distinct pattern in there. Once you have it lined up, you can see through those little holes, all the little foiling goodies shine right through. And you want to be careful with where you put your tape. I'm doing this kind of in a rush because if you put your tape on your foil, sometimes it can lift that foil. So just be careful with that. And I'm going to bring in my die cutting platform here. Spellbinders Aqua Limited Edition die cutting system. Now what this is going to do is it's going to cut, and those little bitty holes will cut too, so you can do your embroidery through there. Okay, so now I have my die cut, I have my wings. And then if I wanted to cut those out, I can cut those out. So now let me put these aside and let's die cut the main portion of the butterfly so you can see how this all goes together. Okay, so what happened to our focus? There we go. Oh, I hope I didn't lose focus on all of that. All right, so here is the main butterfly body. And let me find a nice color here. So we're just going to die cut that out of some red cardstock as we normally would. Colored cardstock, I should say. And I'm going to run that through twice because there are going to be a lot of little bits in here. definitely want your Spellbinders tool in one for this. Okay, that's actually not too bad. Look at all those little pieces. Comes off cleanly. I'm going to dump this over the trash can. So here you can see now, we got most of those bits out. Okay, so here is the idea, is now you can do your embroidery or your floss if you wanted to through the edges. You don't have to, you can leave it that way. Like I said, I haven't jumped on that trend yet, but you could easily now just add these pieces, and you can see where they go by the shape of them. And if you wanted to add embroidery to that, you could definitely add embroidery to that. This goes with our other butterfly. We have our sentiment. And you can choose to pop those pieces out or not. That's up to you. If you want to do the embroidery, then you want to pop them out. You can leave them in there. Just put some tape on the back end of that. Okay, and then this one, the smaller one. So these two go with that other profile butterfly. These two here. And then we have our little butterfly bodies. Ooh, I think I swept them away. Oh, they're over here. So then we have the body. We have antennae. And you can add gems to this. You can add the new glimmer sparkle gems to this. If you have like Nuvo drops, you can add those. So there's a lot of different things you can do to jazz this up besides doing the embroidery. Now, if you don't want to do this, you can take the foiling part off. The butterfly looks perfectly fine just like that. Or, again, you have those other drop-ins which will cut in here. They'll cut out additional designs into the wing. So you don't have to do the foiling, you don't have to do the embroidery. So let me show you what that looks like. So now if I take my butterfly, and you can see the shape of the wings, the points go up. And we have the smaller pieces here. So there you can see, again, without using the glimmer or the embroidery, that looks pretty. I can take these and put them behind the wings now, and that would look pretty. So there's a lot of different design ideas, elements you can use here instead of just glimmer, or instead of just die cutting, or instead of just embroidery, and it looks great either way. So that looks pretty cool. I'm going to pause the video and do some extra die cutting here. I don't want to keep you guys on here for the boring stuff. And then I'll come back and we'll do some assembly. So I will be back in a few minutes. Okay guys, I am back. And all I did here was, this will just be my regular die cut butterfly. It just covered the backs of the wings with some dark gray cardstock, the same color that I cut the body and the antenna out of. So here you can see it looks really good just as a die cut butterfly. I have foiled some yellow cardstock here. So if we wanted to make this the profile butterfly, we could do that. I think, and you can flip this either way. So you can make your profile go to the right or to the left, so I think that's pretty handy. And I think it's designed to go like this. Like that. So we can take some of our foiled pieces, find the right ones, and I think it is this. Those two go together, so I think it's these two. And again, there's no right or wrong way to do this. This is just your imagination on how you want to assemble these. And again, you can do it with or without the embroidery. You can do any combination. I will tell you, you will have a lot of confetti all over the desk. And I'm doing a monotone here, but you could certainly mix up your background papers, your foil papers, whatever you want to do there. Your foil colors, I meant. So now, let's assemble this. Okay, so there is my die cut butterfly and my glimmer butterfly. And I have plenty left over here. If I wanted to do glimmer and embroidery, then I can do that with this one. So I can glue this on, glimmer that, and then embroider over it. Or I can do one that's just embroidery. And I did pull out some floss here out of my stash. It is super old, not been used in a really long time. So let's grab this. And if you really want to, you know, watch videos on this, I know that Jennifer McGuire does a wonderful job on these. I don't do this too often. I'm just going to leave my floss pretty thick there. I can say I probably haven't used this thread in over 20 years. Hopefully it doesn't go bad. I don't think so. Let's see if I can just do a really quick demonstration here. Maybe I'll give it to Leah to finish off. I'm going to put a little piece of tape on the back there. And this will get bulky, so you may want to cut... where'd my little scissors go? You may want to cut another one just to put it on the back, so that way you can kind of frame it in. But I'll just do one side here. And again, there is no right or wrong way. You do it any way you want. Oh, I should have used some like silver or gold thread. That would have been prettier. You may want to cut this out of heavier cardstock too, just to make sure that you're not ripping it when you're pulling on this. This is not very heavy cardstock. This is only like 65 pound weight, so. Now, if you don't like that, then you can say, okay, you know what? I'm not liking the way this is going. Let me pull this out, which I haven't gone very far with it. So, again, just be gentle. And you can actually just do the wings. You don't even have to do the butterfly part. Let me show you what I mean by that. Let's move this one aside. Let's do this guy here. Let's say, bring some of this black in. Because really, they're giving you a cheat on here. I am going to pull some of these threads out to make this a little thinner. Okay, so now let's say I want to embroider this. Put my little piece of tape back there. I stuck to the desk. Okay. And now it tells you where to go with it. So if I start here, I can go down to the middle, and the glimmer is accenting that now. That gold is being accented with the thread. So if you were intimidated by all of those fancy embroidery cards and you want to know how to do it, this is a really neat set, because you can do, again, just regular die cutting. You can do your glimmer machine with it, or you can just do the embroidery part. You don't have to do it any particular way except the way you're comfortable with. If you want to learn something new, this is a great way to learn something new. If you're set in your ways and you're comfortable doing it the way you want to do it, that works too. But I got just to the end and ran out. It's okay. But there you get another idea of how you can do that. And now we can leave the butterfly and just glue that into place. Look how pretty that is. So a number of different ways of using the May Glimmer of the Month kit from Spellbinders. Definitely should check it out. I think the variety on here is really cool, that you can do die cutting, you can do embroidery, you can do glimmer and die cutting, or glimmer and embroidery. So a lot of different things here. And don't forget, you have all the fun sentiments in there. Say, you give me butterflies. We all have butterfly hot foil dies. Celebrate you today, especially for you, and it's a new day. A lot of fun, different elements to this kit. So check that out. I'll put the link down below for you guys. If you learned something new or enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, guys, and keep on foiling. Bye!